So the cast for Marvel's Doomsday was announced in a very interesting, uniquely way during Marvel's live stream. Well, there are some actors whose names we expected to see on that cast list, while others really surprised us. But there are a lot of things within this film that I hope we will get to experience. And with that, let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Nerdistic. I'm your host, Chris Chavis. So with this cast announcement, like I said in the opening, it was a very unique way to announce who's going to be in this massive production. Usually when announcements like this happen, it's through something like Comic-Con, right? We see the Hall H panel, the famous Hall H panel, and the announcements happen. But what Marvel did, they did it differently. Over a 5-hour span, that's right, it was a 5-hour long announcement, you would see one director's chair with the name of the cast member. And then every 12 minutes or so in increments, the camera would pan to see another director's chair with another character's name. Now this happened, like I said, over the span of 5 hours, leading up to the very, very last name on the list, which is, of course, the godfather of Marvel himself, Robert Downey Jr. So before we get into, what I'm hoping for in this film, let's talk about the actors that were announced. So, Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Mackie, Paul Rudd, Letitia Wright, Tom Hiddleston, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Channing Tatum, Sim Liu, Winston Duke, Louis Pullman, Hannah John Kamen, Danny Ramos, Robert Downey Jr., of course, and the cast of the Fantastic Four. Now that is a long list, right? Those are just the actors that are confirmed, right? Those are all the names that we saw across the director's chair during the live stream. So somewhat of all the Avengers have been announced, but there are a slew of X-Men characters that were also revealed on the director's chair. Patrick Stewart is back, Ian McKellen is back, Kelsey Grammer, Alan Cummings, which, if you remember Alan Cummings from X-Men 2, best opening scene in an X-Men movie to date. Rebecca Romijn and James Marsden, they're all back. Okay, so now we got some of that out of the way, right? Who's in the cast, that's all confirmed, that's set in stone, that's solid. Now this film is going to be huge in scope of budgets and the scope of filming and the sets and all that fun stuff, but when it comes to the story, there's certain things that I hope happen. So the first one, it actually involves Cyclops, because let's face it, the man deserves a second chance. Cyclops has always been one of my favorite X-Men characters, and him leading the team. And we haven't really seen his full potential when it comes to the live action adaptations of this great character. X-Men 97, I think, is the catalyst, is the blueprint for putting this character together and how he should be perceived. I mean, just based on how unique he used his powers to do things, it's amazing. Just take that, Russo brothers, and throw it into Doomsday. That's all I'm asking. But with James Marsden back in the role, it's perfect. He looks like the character. It was perfect casting at the time when he was first announced, and it's perfect casting now. I wouldn't mind if he stayed Cyclops throughout the entire run of the Avengers, but we know they're gonna cast younger down the line. But give Cyclops his moment in the sun. Oh, and for the love of God, give him his yellow and blue costume. Okay, the second thing that I hope happens is Doomsday's rivalry with Mr. Fantastic. So in the comics, Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, their rival is legendary. Doom's obsessively trying to prove that he's superior over Mr. Fantastic. And I think this would be a great little storyline to add in to this film. Now, what possibly could happen is they're gonna set that up in Fantastic Four, and that could bleed into Doomsday. That would be great. But if we can have that rivalry somewhere in there, the tension that builds within just those two characters can echo across the entire storyline. But I hope that rivalry is back. Next thing I hope happens is a classic X-Men lineup. What I mean by that is, since the X-Men's arrival in Marvel, we have been wanting to see these characters back on the main screen, back on the big screen, in a more, what's the word I'm looking for, accurate depiction. Because I mean, with X-Men, they were my gateway into comic books. Jim Lee's art style and the storyline and everything that he did in the 80s and the 90s, that's what I ate on. That's what I ate on. And picturing the lineup of the X-Men characters and the Avengers kind of teaming up to fight this big bad, it's just something that I hope we get more of, and not just a little cameo, but something that's going to be more prevalent within that storyline. But to have a classic X-Men lineup with the Avengers, I want that to happen. Next, we need the Hulk back. And I'm not talking about Professor Hulk, I'm talking about Age of Ultron, even Edward Norton's Hulk. back, that chaos, that smash and just destruction chaos. I think one thing that robbed us was in Infinity War and Endgame, Hulk should have had a rematch with Thanos. That, you know, we needed that. I think now is a perfect opportunity with everything that's going to go on in Doomsday to leave Professor Hulk to the side for a bit and just have this smash. But like I said, we're going to get cameos in this that we didn't even think of. So Edward Norton's Hulk could possibly show up. That could be the crazy Hulk that we miss and love, and the Professor Hulk still could be there, and those two could, you know, exist in the same universe. But we need that Hulk back. That's what we need. But we can go on and on about, you know, what we want in this film and who we want in this film. I'm just excited it's getting made, and the Russo brothers are back. Even though they had a string of highs and lows when it comes to their Netflix originals, they're good with Marvel. But are you excited for this film? Did you watch the live stream? Did you watch all 5 hours of it? If so, what name just popped out of your mind and you're like, yes, I'm glad you're back? Side note for me, it's Cyclops. I mean, did you hear my Cyclops thing earlier? But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I truly appreciate it. But go back, watch some of the X-Men films, watch some of the older Avengers films, and just get ready for an amazing film that will blow us away. I have a good feeling.